Hello everyone, you're welcome to English grammar class. Our topic for today is subordinating and correlative conjunction. Our learning objective is at the end of the class you will be able to explain the meaning of subordinating and correlative conjunctions, give examples of subordinating and correlative conjunctions, identify subordinating and correlative conjunctions in sentences, and form sentences using subordinating and correlative conjunctions. What is subordinating conjunction? A subordinating conjunction is a word that connects an independent clause that can stand alone by itself as a sentence to a subordinate clause. And a subordinate clause is a clause that depends on another clause to make meaning. In other words, subordinate clauses cannot stand on their own and make sense. The example before us is the diagram on the slide. You can see the wall and you can see a ladder leaning on the wall. So the wall there represents an independent clause that can stand on its own, and the ladder there represents, the subordinate clause which cannot stand on its own but needs to lean on something to make meaning. Now let's move on. Okay, for example, words like after, because, although, lest, till, even though, and so on and so forth are examples of subordinating conjunction. And in these two sentences following, we have the cook washed her hands after she had picked vegetables in the garden. So you see after there, of course, joining the other sentence, the other clause, she had picked vegetables in the garden, to the main clause. The cook washed her hands. The cook washed her hands, of course, is the main clause there that can stand on its own. And then the other clause, she had picked vegetables in the garden, is a subordinating clause that cannot stand on its own. And of course, after there is a subordinating conjunction that joins the subordinating clause to the main or, of course, independent clause. All right, let's move on. Then number two, the student failed the test because she didn't study. So you see, the student failed the test is an independent clause or main clause. It can stand on its own and yet make meaning. Because she didn't study, because there is a subordinating conjunction that joins the other clause, the subordinating clause, she didn't study, to the main clause. All right, I hope you're following. Correlative conjunctions always appear in pairs and are used to link equal sentence elements. It means that correlative conjunctions always appear in twos. They always go together. You can't separate them from each other, okay? So you have words like either or, neither nor, not only but also. These words always move together. You see them appearing at once at the same time in a sentence. Okay, see, every night either loud music or fighting neighbors wake John from his sleep. So you see that appearing in a sentence, either or. Then number two, we have neither Deborah nor Sally expressed her annoyance when the dog jumped on the bed. You see it again appearing together in a sentence. Not only did Mary cook rice for her mother, but she also made tea for her father. All right. Now remember one rule: when using correlative conjunctions, ensure verbs or pronouns agree so your sentences make sense. I hope you understood the lesson and enjoyed it. This is where we draw the curtain for today. If you have any question, please reach me through Mom and Dad and your question will be answered. This is Mrs. Nelly Henshaw signing off. Please remember to stay safe and maintain good hygiene. So till we meet again, it is bye from me.